Okay, I have completed my gimbal. So this is the setup where I've integrated the gimbal controller, the camera, video recorder, and as you can see, the SD card doesn't actually fit. So I've had to extend some wires out of here to my own custom little SD card reader, and then over here is my own microcontroller. So the purpose of this microcontroller is to turn on the gimbal and start recording when the power of the drone is turned on. So when I turn on the motors, it will start recording and turn on the power of the gimbal. At the bottom of this microcontroller, I've got a couple of switches. So this button is to turn the power on and off for the gimbal. So what I can do is I can turn on the power and then adjust the angle of the gimbal using this knob here. So that's adjustment knob here. Now, other mods I've done is I've integrated a polarized antenna. So this fits into this leg here. So for me to fit that, I had to remove the components of this board and remount it onto my own PCB here, and this will all fit neatly into there. So with the gimbal itself, the original gimbal is this large frame here. So you can see you got the large motors. This is originally designed for a GoPro, so the motors are a bit oversized for my camera. As you can see, originally I made, the first iteration was these small motors, but they were not powerful enough to turn the actual camera against the resistance of this cable. So I've made a second gimbal where I've used slightly larger motors. As you can see, these ones, and this is my own custom mount with the dampers and my own frame here and here. So this holds the actual camera itself and the sensor for the gimbal. As you can see, to mount these dampers, I had to drill some holes onto the drone and then make my own bracket to extend it out. Now, another thing I had to do was I've got a larger battery, so this will give me more flight time, and it's thicker, so I had to make some spaces for the factory PCB that will go on top of here. So this will sit over here and it'll give enough gap for this to slide underneath. So as you can see, a lot of work has been put into packaging this together. So this will sit nicely in here when it's finished. And so this is the original gimbal. As you can see, it's too big to fit in there, so I've purchased a smaller gimbal controller, and with the camera and video recorder, this was wider than the standard width here, so I had to make my own custom bracket and screwed that in and screwed that down. And as you can see, I've also retained the factory video transmitter. I've put it here, and this is just a voltage regulator to provide power. Another note is, you see, this is the factory camera and video recorder, and that was where the transmitter was soldered onto here. I removed it and just remounted it there. So that used to sit there. Test number 1, if I turn on the drone, it should turn on the gimbal. Okay. Turn off the drone. Gimbal stopped. Okay. Test number 2, if I turn on the power manually, I should be able to adjust the angle of the gimbal Turn off the power. Okay. Now if I start the drone, it should look down.